Welcome back to part 2 of my radar video, which is already a part 2. So, part 2, part 2. In the last video, in the first part 2, I covered all your radar modes for your top tier jets. If you haven't checked that one out, I highly recommend it before this one. But in this video, I'll be covering how I actually use those modes in real games. ACM modes, pulse Dopplers, search, infrared, all that sort of stuff. So in this video, I'll be covering that. In the last video, I'll be covering more of the specifics about the radar modes and the keybinds to start using them and get into using it. Last video was pretty long, and it would have been even longer with this here, so I decided to just cut it up into 2 videos, and it'll make it a bit easier. But without further ado, let's start the clips. Starting out in the MiG-29 here, you can see I'm in TWS mode. I've found 2 targets up ahead of me, and I've found that one is looking straight towards me. It looks pretty juicy. I can see he's right in that sort of valley there, and I think he's going to continue coming my way. I lock him up with track pulse Doppler, and I actually see he fires something at me. If you look at my RWR, you can see he has a lock on me. I assume it's F14, F16, so I duck behind the cover of the hill here. You can see now I change from TWS in just a second. Change from TWS to... find him in TWS again. Good. I've picked out search IR, and I've now track IR'd him. You can see I'm loading up an R27T. He's in range, indicated by the lines on my radar, and I fire. This target has no idea I'm here, because I've pretty much popped out from the mountain, locked him with track IR, and he's completely blind. That is splash 1 F16. Alright, for clip number 2, before we even start, RWR lock from the front. You can see I have my R27ERs loaded. Let's play the clip. Alright, so found somebody on TWS, locked, hard locked, and fired. See, I turn away and pop a few flares and chaff there. That's 1 F16 splash. I'm now turning around to look behind me because I think I see someone else, because there's a second trail of smoke there. As you can see, I'm looking around using that head movement I talked about in the first sim tips video. Looking behind me, leaning over my shoulder, looking around. Looking back at my radar, I can see a few pings behind me on my RWR, but I'm not really sure why. And there we have it, 2 black dots behind me and 1 circling around with me. Not exactly sure what it is, so I'm just going to keep pulling around. See, I select an R60M because I know this is going to be a close range engagement. I'm tilting my radar up slightly, and it's an F14. So, turn on pulse Doppler mode, air combat maneuver. I know it's going to, my ACM mode is going to be above my head as I pull around onto him. Warm up my R60, you can see I got the track, so my R60 is going to slave onto the missile. I fire that one off, and sadly I got flared. It happens, that's fine. It's alright, I'll warm up another one. This time I'm not going to radar lock him, because I think the radar lock gave him a heads up as to what was about to happen. He flares the R60 again. I go in for a god-awful gunshot there. That's alright, this F14 does not particularly know what he's doing, but neither do I, judging by the fact that I've fired 3 R60s at this guy. Missed some more gunshots, and finally get a hit, and he simply just explodes. That fuel there got absolutely ignited. Making sure I'm looking over my head behind him. You do not want to be a part of a clip where somebody is falling out the sky, they just happens to get an IR missile lock and fire it off at you and kill you as they're dying. So always look behind you once you've shot a person down. Wait till they fully hold down the J key for 3 seconds, they fully eject. As you can see, I have another lock behind me, a couple flares. See that little puff in the sky there, that's from a missile exploding. I'm looking around. Got my helmet mounted display pulse Doppler on, and that looks like an F16, so I know I have the speed advantage, so I'm going to pull him up to the vertical. Got my ACM on, just like I did with that F14. I've got the R27T on, just because that's really the only thing I have left. I'm pulling around, go to infrared ACM mode. I'm not particularly sure why I did that, but it doesn't really matter. As long as it gets the lock, I don't want him to know, so maybe that's why I did it. Let's see here, I'm pulling around, got the lock and fire. I turn away And there we are. There is another F-16 killed. Don't have many missiles left. I got one more R-27T left, so I'm heading back to base. Here we have a mock dogfight where I'm in an F-16, my partner's in a Mirage 2000. I was trying to get a bit better at using the F-16, so I'd be better in simulator mode. Now, you see there, ACM mode, I changed it from pulse Doppler to normal ACM mode. You can see that lighter coloured bar there, that's ground clutter. Usually ground clutter is a really big issue when you're searching in ACM mode, but because we're so close, the ground clutter doesn't really make a difference. And what locking your target up is going to do is it's going to allow you to find a firing solution. That circle with the small circle in the center of it there, that's where I'm aiming to shoot. When I put the target inside that circle, my bullets are probably going to hit. I'm just trying to do that now, and a bit of a flick shot there. I actually did hit my shots. That's why you're going to lock something up, and I somehow hit that other shot there, but hey, we'll take that. That's why you need to lock your targets up in a dogfight. In this fight here, in the MiG-29, once again, I've track IR'd a target, so he's going to have no idea. Firing our 60M, big splash there. That F-14 had no idea right to the last second. And another clip here, track pulse Doppler. The target does know, you can see it there. The reason it's not showing up on my HUD is because I'm in air target mode. Lock, and now I'm in track IR again, so he does not receive an RWR. Firing our 60M. It's tracking beautifully, and there it is, splash F-16. That's the beauty of infrared, is they have no idea. He didn't see his RWR ping swing around as he turned around. If he did, that could have given him a big indication as to where I was relative to him. Another clip here, you can see me in TWS mode, just popping a few flares there. I have my eyes on the target up there, using my thumbstick to watch him. Now I'm in ACM pulse Doppler mode, because sadly that's the only one MiG-29 has. Locked him up. You can see him up there. Fire off an R60. He's going to flare that one away. That's alright. Warm up another one, R27 this time. Fire it off. Now, I was just sort of setting that one off just to give him a good spook, but it actually hit, so I'm pretty happy. Warming up another one here. You can see on my HMD I'm getting locks, and I fire. There we are. Did I? I think I did. Whatever. Getting another one on. I'm going to not shoot that one, because I think, there we are, shot it there. Look, I'm just taking these shots. I don't know if they're going to land or not, but as you can see here, I'm in guns mode. So that's exactly what I intend to do. I'm trying to line up the F-14's wings with the edge of my funnel there, and as I pull up, it manages to happen, and there you go. There's splash F-14 with the guns. That is going to do it for today. My next video should be about the F-16. It's going to be similar to my very first video on the F-14. The F-16 one was viewer requested. Thank you very much for that. I always appreciate that. So I'll see you next time.